It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa salamullah ala al-hadi ya Rasulillah. It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa
قَدْ أَفْلَحَ مَنْ زَكَّاهَا. That successful indeed is the one who purifies this nafs.
You have fear for Allah, but you also fear other people? No. وَلَا يَخْشَوْنَ أَحَدًا. Don't fear anybody else illallah, except Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's telling us good words are better. Good words, words of advice, is better than the one who gives charity but followed by reproach.
So there are different levels of tests, and Allah decides who He's going to test. The first level of testing, of course, is with our own nafs.
esteemed by his companions that Allah had mentioned their noble description in the Holy Quran.
Alhamdulillah, first we give thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all His boons and favors that He has bestowed upon us. We give thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making us Muslims among the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah Azza wa Jal, who is our sustainer, who is our creator. He is the one who has created everything and placed them upon the face of the earth and beyond. And in many of Allah's creation, He has given us the understanding and the reason why it has been created. And in some of these creations, Allah has withheld its purpose and its existence from us. But despite that, amongst all the creation, Allah Azza wa Jal has highlighted the insan as the best of the creation, as the best of the entire of the creation that Allah has created. The reason being behind this is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this insan, the aql and intelligence, as compared to the other creation. They do not have this aql and intelligence. They cannot think of for themselves. They cannot act by themselves. They cannot do anything by themselves, excepting by what Allah has created them for. But this human being, which Allah has created, has given us the aql and intelligence. And there are many verses in the Holy Quran where Allah mentions, whereby we need to use our aql and intelligence to understand our existence here, why we are here, what we have to prepare for, what lies in the next life. And hence the reason why Allah Azza wa Jal has created Jannah and Jahannam. He has created Jannah and Jahannam not for all of His creations, but for this insan, for this human being, for the jinnats. That is why it has been created for. As I mentioned in the ayat before, Ya ayyuhal insan. Allah said, O insan. Here Allah Azza wa Jal is addressing the human being at large, the entire of mankind. Not just those who believe, not just those who acknowledge Allah Azza wa Jal, but those entire of mankind. Innaka kadihun ila rabbika kadhan. Indeed, you have to work hard, you have to struggle very hard towards your Lord, towards achieving your Lord, towards achieving the result of Allah Azza wa Jal, the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. Why? Famulaki, for verily you will have to meet it. For verily you will have to meet it. The Mufassirin mentions that this pronoun Allah mentions here has two reasons. One, it can refer to the meeting of Allah Azza wa Jal. Without a doubt, every single human being will have to meet Allah Azza wa Jal. And the other meaning is that this pronoun refers to your amal and your deeds. That one day will come, you will have to meet your deeds. And you will see for yourself exactly what you have done, what you have accomplished while you were here in this world. For whatever period of time, you will see every single thing has been recorded. Every single thing is written down. Nothing is left out. From this ayah, we can understand that the natural tendency of the human being, this insan Allah has created, is to work hard, is to strive, the natural instinct of the human being. Whatever goal, whatever objectives you may have in life, whether a worldly activity or some worldly benefit. You have to work hard, some objective in your life. You'll have to work in order to accomplish it. And we'll understand that by accomplishing this goal or this objective, it can't happen if you were to sit down in one position, if you were to sit down in one place, if you were to relax and be relaxed, then this objection, this goal, this thought that we may have in our minds, or this dream that we may have in our minds, that one day I want to become like this, or one day I want to become like that, or I want to accomplish this in life, or that in life. Nothing of these sorts cannot become possible if we remain stagnant into one place, into one position. We have to go there and work. We have to strive. There's some sort of sacrifice that is required. That's a natural tendency of the human being. But in doing so, it requires some sort of akal and intelligence before fulfilling any sort of amal or any form of action. If you understand and you have something valuable in your life, despite whatever knowledge you may have, you'll ask and you'll go forward and you'll find out from those who have experience or those who are versed in that field, should I venture into that field? What are the benefits I'm going to receive if I venture into that field? If I put my wealth into this area, into that area, what are the income? What are the returns? And then from that, if you seek advice from one individual, it may sound nice, it may sound bad, it may sound discouraging, but at the end of the day, you will go to someone else, and you'll keep on going to someone else, and you'll gather all the information. But that decision, that final moment, that final decision depends upon the person himself. No one can force you into a transaction. Despite how convincing the individual may be, whatever motive he may have in his mind, the final decision based upon you yourself. Whatever consequences that has to come forth from that transaction, be it good or be it bad, you is the one who has to feel that consequences, not the advisors. Not the advisors. If we go for against some, I may go against some. I may go for some or against some. But the final decision is upon you as an individual. So the natural tendency of the human being is to work hard. That's who we are. That's who we are. The second point. Since we understand that the quality of akal and intelligence is required, just as how we look forth into the world, and the reason why we venture into transactions of different sorts or different types or in different areas, it is because we have seen some sort of results before. We have seen what someone has done before and what they have accomplished. There's nothing new that comes into your mind. If it never happened or you never heard of it before, you will never ever venture into that. You're not going to risk your life or your wealth behind that. It is only because you have seen someone has become whatever you will choose, whatever he has accomplished in life. I say, when I grow up, I want to be like him, or I want to be like her. I want to follow this person's example. I like his lifestyle. I like this and I like that. We make that choice. And we work towards attaining that and accomplishing that because we have seen that. But on the other side, as a mu'min, as a believer, as I mentioned before, Allah has created Jannah and Jahannam. And we are fully aware exactly what lies in Jannah and what lies in Jahannam by the description of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam in many ahadith. And we're fully aware and we understand that what lies there is eternal. It's not temporary. What lies in Jannah and paradise is permanent. It's eternal. That joy and that happiness, that ecstasy that you will experience there is eternal. Then why? Why it is we are not becoming as a Muslim, as a true mu'min, when it comes to our own self, Just as how we make sacrifices for the worldly activities and worldly ventures, and we understand the value of what we have before we put it forward, then what about our own self? What about that point in time where we fully aware, we understand that we are going to leave this world, we are going to depart from this world, and we have to meet Allah Azza wa Jal without a doubt. We will meet Allah Azza wa Jal. In what condition are we going to meet Him? In what condition, in what hal are we going to meet Allah Azza wa Jal? What we have sent forth. In another ayat of the Quran, it mentions, يَوْمَ يَنْظُرُ الْمَرْءُ مَا قَدَّمَتْ يَدَاهُ. On that day, man will look to see what he has sent forth. When the reality of what has before him, he has seen the reality before his own eyes, just as how you will see all the benefits that someone has received before you venture into a transaction, into a business, and the profit that someone gains from doing such and such act, and you go forth in the same way, hoping to get the same reward, hoping to get the same returns. Sometimes it comes true, sometimes it does not come true. Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you fail. What happens? We get up again and we go again. Oh, that's a cycle of life. That's a cycle of life. But when the true reality of the next life befalls us, what are we going to do? What are we going to see? And the third point, after acknowledging Allah Azza wa Jal, after acknowledging who we are, why we have been sent here for, what we have to do, and Allah has given us this aql and this intelligence, then you must remember, regardless whether you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal or not, one thing that is unanimous that we all believe in is that death will come to us some point in time. Even non-believers acknowledge this, that death will come to us some point in time. No one will be able to escape death wherever you are. There is no place that you can run or you can hide where death will never reach you. It will come to you. And Allah is so merciful. He has withheld the knowledge of our time here in this world. The reason being, if Allah has granted you that ilm of the amount of time that will be allowed in this world, then we will waste most of its time and wait for the latter portion to really become conscious. And then when we waste most of our time, then that frame of mind that we are in, not guaranteed to spend the last couple of years of your time in the obedience of Allah Azza wa Jal. That's a human being. How you train yourself, how you adapt yourself, how you look, like act like intelligence, how you use that act like intelligence. That's how you're going to carry about yourself. If you're always a person who commits lies, despite of all the knowledge you may hear, all the statements you may hear, you'll continue that way until you yourself decide that I'm going to change. You have to decide that. You have to acknowledge that first before that change can come about. Likewise, any other amal, any other action, any other bad habits that we have within ourselves. But the acknowledgement of Allah Azza wa Jal, the presence of Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why Allah says, Ya ayyuhal insan, innaka kadihun ila rabbika karhan famulaqi. You have to work continuously, hard towards Allah Azza wa Jal. Why? Famulaqi, you have to meet it. You will meet it. You'll meet Allah Azza wa Jal. You'll meet your amals. You'll meet your deeds. That is something that is guaranteed. But when someone guarantees you something here in this world, sometimes it comes true, sometimes it does not come true. But when Allah Azza wa Jal guarantees you something, then without a doubt that is a true guarantee. If Allah promises you something and He gives you a path or a way of life, a guidance, a method that if you are follow and you abide upon this path, then you'll be successful. Then you'll be given Jannat. As the Rasul mentioned in a hadith, Ish ma shitta fa innaka mayyit. Live however you wish. Live however you wish. You have been placed into this world. Allah has placed everything before you to recognize and to acknowledge His qudra and His power. He has placed everything here for you. Live however you wish. فَإِنَّكَ مَيِّتٌ. For verily you are going to die, you will die. وَحِبَّ مَنْ شِئْتَ. And love whatever you wish. فَإِنَّكَ مُفَارِقُ. For verily you are going to depart from it. Whatever we are attached to this world, whatever we may have in this world, and we fight ourselves to attach ourselves towards it, remember one day will come that these things will be left behind. As mentioned in another hadith, 3 things will follow the mayyit. 3 things will follow you when you die. Your family members, your wealth, and your amals. 2 of these things will return, and 1 will remain with you. Despite the amount of love that you may have for your wealth, despite the amount of love you will have for your family, they will not remain or enter into the khabar with you when you passed away. And despite the amount of love that you may show to this wealth, or to the family members, or to the human being at large, there is some point in time that it will come that they will disappoint you. Because of the attachment you have with that individual, when he does something wrong, when he does something contrary to your thought and to your will, then you feel disappointed, you feel hurt. But when Allah promises you something, then that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. And if you are upon the path of Allah, then when you see the rewards, when you see that fruits that you have spent while you were in this world, when you die, and you see the fragrance of Jannah in your khabar, then that's a good sign. But when you see the flame of Jahannam, the fire of Jahannam in your khabaristan, when you're grave and to see each other, one side penetrates the other side, that's a bad start. Then you know what is yet to come afterwards is even much more worse. What you are going through there at that beginning phase. But if it starts good, then alhamdulillah, your journey has started. Just as how as human beings we have different phases of life. We were in our mother womb for a point in time. But if you ask a child while in that phase, would you like to come into this world? That child will say no. Because all that child knows is what surrounds him in the womb of their mother. But when he comes out into this world and become exposed to the world, he say, no, I don't want to return back to that womb. There's more for me here. I'm more happy here. And then when he begins to grow into that phase of that, and he passes that childhood phase, and responsibilities had to come towards him, and he began to learn, and began to have thoughts and dreams and objectives and goals in life. Then he worked towards that, attaining that. And then when he reaches that point in limit, then he keeps on wanting more and wanting more. And when he invests more. What about the next life? That's also there. Failing to realize that this phase of life is a temporary phase. A phase that they are going to pass through. And the real journey begins when you depart from this world. That's the consequences. So just as how we'll understand the consequences of every amal, every action, we hear it time and time again. Now, if you do such and such act, you will realize the consequences. You will see the consequences of that action that you have done. You don't want to listen? No problem. Go ahead and do the wrong action. Go and do like this. Do like that. You will see the consequences afterwards. Whether it's good or whether it's bad. And then if we get a bad experience, then we feel guilt. That guilt that comes within us. But despite that guilt that is there within us, opportunities are there to rectify that. But when we depart and we go from this world, there's no more opportunities to return to this world to rectify those faults and mistakes. Here is the time to rectify that. So the Rasul mentions, love whatever you wish. فَإِنَّكَ مُفَارِقُ For verily you are going to depart from it. وَأَعْمَلْ مَا شِئْتَ And do whatever you wish. Do whatever you wish. فَإِنَّكَ مُلَاقِي For verily you are going to meet it. Every single amal, every single action that we do, we will see it. We are going to meet every single action, regardless of the consequences of that action, be it good or be it bad. We are going to meet it. Hence the reason why we have two angels on our shoulders that records every single thing that we do. Also on the day of Yawmul Qiyamah, our lips will be sealed and our limbs will speak for us or against us. Our limbs will speak for us or against us. If we do not want to take Allah's word, then we have our limbs. What are we going to do? When we intend to do a wrong action, will we leave our hand behind, our feet behind? No, everything goes with us. There's no place you can hide, but nothing is hidden. But the one, before I close, the one individual, this insan who really uses his aql and intelligence, that make you a distinction between all the other creations of Allah Azza wa Jal, is this aql and intelligence. If we use it wisely and we think carefully, of everything that happens to us or around us, we will recognize and we acknowledge that is from Allah Azza wa Jal. And it's upon us to show in return gratitude towards Allah Azza wa Jal, and to do those things which Allah will be pleased with us. Allah mentioned in the Holy Quran, those individuals who have that sort of mentality and that thinking, that acknowledgement, are those people. فَأَمَّا مَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ Are those people, as for that one who fears standing before his Lord. If you fear standing before your Lord and your Yawmul Qiyamah, you'll recognize that. If you have no fear, then you'll be like what you are today, how normal individuals will think. Well, I am only going to wait on a result. Well, I want to see what happened to this one if he does like that. Then I will vent into that. Waiting ain't gonna work. We'll know exactly what is going to happen. And if we have that fear in our hearts, that khawf in our hearts, then we will do exactly what is required from us. وَنَهَا النَّفْسَ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ And we take control of that nafs, that base desire that directs us, that pushes us towards doing what's evil. If we take control of, have these two qualities in our life, these two qualities is sufficient for us. Have the khawf and that fear in our hearts all the time, that today I'm alive, tomorrow I don't know. That has no age limit. That has no age limit. No one knows how long he's going to be here for in this life, in this world. If the khawf, that fear is in our hearts, then we will do those things which are pleasing towards Allah Azza wa Jal, and we take control of our nafs. With this, viewers, I hope and pray Allah Azza wa Jal has granted us the understanding, and may He forgive us all mistakes that we may have committed, and may He grant us Jannah for those, inshallah. Wa akhiru alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa salamullah ala al-hadi ya Rasulillah. It's the greatest gift from Allah to be in the last prophet. Summa salatullah wa salamullah ala al-hadi ya Rasulillah. What can be said of Mustafa? He was the wish of Musa, of the new